think we spoke about it. We had a chat with one of the old bosses, and you're too young and do this and get a bit more experience. Anyway, long story short, out of about the 14 or 15 of us that went, 2 of us passed. And yeah, so if I jump back onto selection, I think if I remember, I think it was just shy of 200 that started day one. And I think I touched on it last time. I didn't think we had weekends off or anything like that. And when I got told by one of the old and bold boys, actually from the golf, first golf, he was like, no, you're off at the weekend. I was like, great. So so selection, I mean, it's open source now. People know roughly what it's all about. So your phase 1 is your aptitude, your hills phase, basically fitness. And it starts off on your jogging, your small tabs, what do they call it now? I forgot what they call it now. Not a BFT. You do an 8 mile or a 10 mile speed march basically, and that's a tasty one. And of course, all the DS super fit guys, because they do it all the time. And then on the first week, at the end of the first week on a Friday, you have fan dance, which is over Penny Fan, down the Roman Road, turnaround point, all the way back over the fan, and all the way back down to Story Arms to the red telephone box that everyone knows. And my DS that was leading us, we all stayed. Well, I say we all stayed. A few of us stayed with him most of the way around, and we got to the turnaround point. I can't remember if he did it before the turn. I think he did do it before the turnaround point. Coming down the Roman Road, he tripped over and smashed his watch, and I think he had an Amiga or something like that. So he was absolutely tamping, and he got up and went like the wind. And I think it was before the turnaround point. So I remember there was like 2 or 3 of us got into the turnaround point, absolutely blowing, trying to suck in oxygen from China. And it was a quick fill your bottle up with water, and he's gone. And then we'd turn around and we're chasing him back. And yeah, it was just, it was go or die. I mean, you've been on the hills with me. I could, well, actually, we should talk about that as well a bit later on.
Yeah.
And so, I can shift a bit on the hills when I need to. And he was gone. And funny old thing, I ended up joining the same squadron that he was in. We weren't in the same troop, but we were in the same squadron. Brilliant bloke, really good guy.
Just to clarify, though, you say hills, it was a mountain. For you, it might be hills. For me, it was hell.
Okay. So that's you've got your aptitude. So basically, you'll lose a decent amount, if not 50% there, and then you're off to the jungle.
And sorry, is that losing because people quitting, or
yeah? So you'll have people quit. People quit with injuries. You'll have people that I just don't know what they think they're coming into. Some of these guys, because you see them on the first week, and you look at them, and this is the good thing about the regiment. You'll look at guys and you'll go, he ain't your Johnny Bravo, 6'6", massive ribs, arms like Garth, biceps, chest, abs, all the rest of it. It's your everyday bod that basically passes most of the time. It's the bloke that doesn't want to give up. And you'll see these gym queens turn up and they just burn out and die. Some of them get through, don't get me wrong. But the whole process is, and the thing is with selection, I think, and people don't realize, it's not a, you don't get a phone call, Tristan, think you're good, like I think you should apply for special forces. There's none of that. It's you want to be there. You've got to show them that you're capable of doing what they want you to do. And do it good and retain information. So if they show you something, it's I had a friend who went after me and he said, Jim, got any advice? And I went, it's monkey see, monkey do. I went, they show you it, you do it to the best of your ability, and as long as you can do it and replicate it, they're happy. Because it's a learning process at the end of the day. Obviously the fitness side, All the rest of it, that's all a bit different, and that's up to yourself. But that's where they want guys that can dig deep. As Nims Persia says, you're only 40% fucked when you think you are, and that's what they want. They want that person to go, I'm knackered, but I know I can keep going. Your body is way stronger than you think it is. It's your mind that lets you down. So you'll do the hills, then you'll go on to selection. So through the hills, from your question, you'll have people that will fail through fitness or injury. Depends if it's genuine injury, they'll get asked to come back again. Or you'll get reds. You can get 2 reds on the hills, you'll fail. So you can get 1 red, you're okay. So that's basically, if you're over time on a test march, something like that, you'll get a red. So every march is timed. And you can play that to your advantage as well. So if you get to the last tab, you've got no reds, you can go, do you know what? I'll have an easy day today, and you can pick a red up because it doesn't really make a difference. I got a red one day, and it wasn't because I wanted it. It was just I got weighed. Apparently, my pack was underweight by a bit, so you got to pick a rock. And of course, if you pick a small rock, they'll go and pick a rock for you. So you pick a decent rock, and then you're carrying a lot of weight. So I think on that day I was carrying something stupid. Anyway, so I was just killed myself. So then you do the hills, and then you go off to the trees. Now, some guys in their parent units, the units they've come from, they might have been to the jungle, done a jungle trip before. I'd never done one. So for me, it was a learning curve, a fast learning curve, but also a super experience. I've like I said, I've never been before. I love being outside and love being in forests. There's just something magical about them. In the trees is even better. I say the trees, the jungle. It's even better. It's a special place. But don't get me wrong, it's a hard place to operate. It's simple soldering done good, and your admin's got to be on the ball. So basically, you're soaking wet all day long, and when you go in on selection, we're in there for a month. We're doing training before we actually go in, but then we fly in and we spend a whole month in the trees. And you've got 2 sets of kit. You've got a wet kit and a dry kit, and that's it. So you've got 2 pairs of socks, two jungle shirts, 2 jungle trousers, and 2 pairs of cycling shorts. That's you for 4 weeks. So you can imagine by the end of it what your kit smells like and what you smell like. You do get a chance to go down to the river and have a wash, grabbing the sand from the bottom and exfoliating with the sand, scrubbing yourself all over. But eventually your kit, just even when you get a chance to go and wash it, jump in the river and give it a scrub and a scrub off and stuff, it stinks. It's just proper. So the trees, it's broken down into, obviously, like everything, it'll start off with the basics, and then it will build its way up to a big final attack, a recce team, all that sort of stuff. And in between, you're learning patrolling, you're doing different firing lanes, and all the good fun stuff that you want to do. And through that, again, the same as the hills, the only time people will get pulled off by the DS is for safety on a range. So if they're not up to speed, safety catchers, running around with safety catchers off, or they're just not aware of their surroundings, because you've got to think it's very close in there. You can turn and someone's behind the tree and you can't see them. You go to fire and then they run into your arc. So you've got to be 100% focused on what's around you and who's doing what and who's going where. So guys will get pulled off for safety. Then you'll have injuries. And then again, going back, you'll have guys that are just like, do you know what? I didn't think it was going to be anything like this. It's horrendous. I'm leaving. I remember on ours, there was a guy. So you'll fly in with all your kit, and it weighs an absolute ton. So your Bergen is like a house on your back, and I mean a house on your back. And he got off the helicopter. I think he did about 20, 30 yards in the jungle, dropped his kit and went, I ain't doing this. I'm VWing staff, and just give up there and then. Didn't even get to build. Yeah, didn't even get to build his basher. So yeah, so that's the trees. And then you'll finish off with final camp attack and stuff, and then you'll come out, and then there's a big barbecue, and of course you've been living on rations. You're on army rations for 4 weeks. You'll get a fresh day where they'll bring some steaks in and some potatoes and stuff like that, and then you'll make like a little fry thing with whatever food you got. You get supplemented with tins of tuna throughout the week with your rations as well. But everyone comes out super skinny. I just ate everything I could. So I had a little beard, and not chubby, but I was a little bit chubbier than the rest of the guys who were like proper gaunt and stuff. And then you come out and you have this barbecue like you've never seen before. And I'm talking lobsters, shrimp, crab, you name it, it's all there. And of course, everyone's like, oh, drinking and all that. And you got to think your body's not used to it.
No.
And like, so the next day, your body's in absolute tatters. Your kidneys are hurting from the alcohol, your stomach's hurting from the amount of food, and because you've had spice and seafood and stuff that you haven't normally had. Yeah, you're in a whole different world of hurt as well. So,
and what kind of food is the rations? Like, what is?
So, I know it's changed a lot now. They're catering for the what should I say? How should I word this? The Gen Z generation of wokeness. That's basically what it is. Vegetarian meals, halal meals, all this sort of stuff. At the end of the day, you're in a battlefield. If you want to eat, you're going to eat. That's the way I see it. Obviously, we're not always in a battlefield, but so going back, so you'll get a 24-hour ration pack. You'll get a breakfast meal. My favorite was sausage and beans. So you'll get sausage and beans. Bacon and beans is hideous. It's like bits of streaky lard in with beans, and it just tastes. Can't describe how it tastes. Just minging. So, then you have a hash brown one. That's quite nice. And then what else was there? I can't remember what else there was. Yeah, and then you got main meals. So in the main meals, there was some curries, there's some beef stews, lamb stews. I think there's like a chili con carne, stuff like that. But they're all menu items, so you'll get menu A, menu B, menu C, and then you get puddings. So you get a chocolate pudding, you get a sticky toffee pudding, rice pudding. What else is there? I think there might be like a jam roly-poly type thing. So you'll get three main bags that you can eat hot or cold. So it's all designed to be in hot or cold. You'll then get some biscuits. So you'll get biscuits fruit, biscuit brown. Like a dog biscuit, basically. Probably the easiest way to describe it. No flavour, and you're meant to put that like your jam and stuff. But what I've done in the past is I'll carry noodles and garlic, and then like a tin, and then I'll put the onions, chop a bit of onion up if I've got onion, or definitely garlic in some curry powder, and just make a curry with noodles all the time. And then the biscuits brown, you can crumble the brisket brown in and just chuck them, and they just stock it and make it more stodgy. So again, at the end of the day, it's carbs. That's what you want. Get the carbs in there, fuel up, and eat everything. And then you've got your drinks in there. So you'll get tea, coffee, sugar, all those little bits, and some energy drinks, chocolate bar, and that's it. So what guys will do is, like, I used to have like a little plastic pot, and then I'd put my own coffee in it, and then put sugar in it when I used to have sugar. And then I just sprinkle that out, so I didn't have loads of mess to carry. So I break everything, and I still do that now when I go up in the mountains. So I'll break my food meals down, so I don't have loads of rubbish. So the bags come with a plastic bag, and then your meal inside it. So you take those plastic bags off, so you've just got your meal bag. And then you'd make your curry powder mix in a plastic tub. You'll have your tea, your coffee mix in your plastic mug, cup. little pot, sorry. And then everything else used to bin it off, apart from the, if it was summer, you might take a couple of the cold drinks to mix. The jungle, they were great. So in the trees, we could ask for stuff to be brought in. So I would have these peach teas brought in, and then in one of my water bottles in my kit, I'd put a peach tea in there. So then, because you're drinking water from the streams, and you're putting purification tablets in there, so you're killing any bacteria, any worms, it's like all the badness that's in there. But it just tastes like you're drinking chlorine swimming pool water all the time. So I used to put one of my bottles, I used to put a little sachet or half a sachet, just give it a little bit of flavour away from that, which made it just a little bit more flavoursome. And then so you'll finish the trees, and I can't remember how many we finished with. So we come back, and then you'll go on to continuation training. So basically, most people that pass the jungle will pass. So we I don't know what we come out with there, but 18, 20 of us in total, something like that. Then you go on to continuation training. So there's parachuting, learning new weapon systems, because of course you've gone from the normal army of your SA-80 and then the high-powered Browning pistol to then going to a M4, M16 Mini-Me, 50 cals, Mark 19 grenade launchers, all this sort of stuff, SIG, P226 pistol. So then you get to learn all these, go on the ranges. And then guys that haven't done, I think we mentioned this, guys that haven't done the parachuting will go off and do their basic parachuting course. Once they've done that, the rest of us will go down and we'll do our squares course, so our steerables. And then once you've done that, everyone comes back, and then we do SEER, which is long and short survival, escape and evasion. So we'll do all lessons on survival techniques, and actually Ray Mears come and taught us for a couple of days.
Really?
It's a bit tongue-in-cheek, because he'll pull flour out of his little bag and some sun-dried tomatoes and make a pizza and stuff, and we're all like, well, where are we getting this from? We're going to Scotland on the run in a week. It's snowing and it's freezing. There ain't any flour, and there's certainly ain't any dried tomatoes kicking around. So don't get me wrong, he knows his stuff, and he teaches some stuff, which is good. But then sometimes for what we need, and certainly now, I think it's changed drastically now. I know the guys don't go on the run in the same kit that we did. So we went on the run in old World War II trench kit. So big, massive grey coats, these itchy trousers, all that sort of stuff. And then we're running around up in Scotland or wherever it was. Yeah, we were in Scotland somewhere, running around, getting chased by a hunter force and dogs and helicopters, and you've got to get from A to B each day without getting caught.
And is so like difficulty? What would you say? Like, because it kind of sounds quite fun in a sense, but I bet it's
so. Yeah, it sounds fun, but so prior to that, we've done a week of training of minimal sleep and minimal food on our own training area. So we've already been out for a week. Then we get what they call processed. So we get caught and then slapped about a bit, processed, and then you put into your grey coat stuff to go on the run. And then you get taken and then dropped off. You're given a map, which has got all the stuff that you need taken off it. So it's just minimal forestry blocks, no roads, or bits of road maybe, but it's all blanked out specifically to make it hard. Certainly any buildings have been taken off there, stuff like that. And then you're released on the run. So by then you're already weak, because you've had a week of no food, or I say minimal food, like eating a bit of rabbit between four of you, stuff like that. And of course you're constantly working, and it's cold at night, so you're burning fuel anyway to stay warm. And then you're on the run. So first 24, 48 hours, it's not too bad, but then you start draining. And of course, you can't just all go somewhere and huddle up and go to sleep. Someone needs to be on watch.
Yeah.
You know, it's freezing cold, it's snowing, you're getting soaking wet, your feet are soaking. You know, we were and traveling through the day is just too risky. So you're traveling at night all the time or in darkness, and then you'll hold up somewhere in the day. Of course, Scotland's not renowned for its sunny days in because this was around November time, I think it was, when we were doing it. So yeah, it was just grim and miserable. So in the day, you're trying to sleep and you just led there shivering because you know, yes, you could get a fire going, but is it going to be big enough to keep you warm? No, because you don't want to be seen. You don't want any smoke. You know, certainly you no fires at night, but at night we're just moving because you don't want to get caught by the hunter force because you'll get put in the pen. And then, yeah, and you got to make it A to B to meet an agent. And then they might be kind and give you a slice of bread with a bit of cheese. And then you get to the end and you go in the bag anyway. So you get caught and then you get processed and then you go into your interrogation phase for, I can't remember how long it is now, 24, 48 hours. I can't remember how long it is, but the regiment's got like a dispensation that they can do it for longer with us because obviously of what we're going to be doing. So yeah, that's an interesting time. Painful in ways. I don't know if it's on purpose, but I had a pair of they give me a pair of plimsolls to put on. So you're stripped naked, and then you put into like a boiler suit, I think it was, with a number on. I can't remember, but I remember these little plimsolls. You know, like the plimsolls you get at school for going into the gym, the little stretchy black ones with the brownie bottoms, like pair like that. But fuck, my feet were so swollen because they've been wet for a week and a half, and now they're out in some sort of fresh air. They've just gone like balloons, and they're in these little things, and the area they hold you is just full of gravel. So you're kneeling on it. You're in these little slipper things, and it's just grim. And you just got to grin and bear it. Try and keep yourself sane, and push your way through it. And then
and so is that, like, say, just that's interrogation basically for like 2 days? I'm guessing. And is it like, obviously you'd probably see in the movies where you kind of have your good cop, your bad cop, or is it just hell?
Yeah, no. So you'll get different people. I won't go too much into it, but yeah, there's you've got your good cop and your bad cop. You might have a female. You know, you might have 3 guys in there, all nicey. Yeah, so there's different that, or they're trying to spin your mind. They're trying to catch you out.
Yeah.
They're trying to lure you down a path, and you think you've been sleep deprived for over a week. You're absolutely starving. You know, your things are hurting because they're swollen or you've had an injury and stuff like that, and they're pushing all your buttons to try and make you break.
And just one last question on that. Do you get told, I know, for instance, a bit of information before going for that thing? So are they actually trying to get a specific thing out of you, or is it
No, they're just, to be fair, I can't remember, but I think they're just trying to get your basics. So everyone,
just a breakdown.
Everyone has what they're allowed to say, which is what's on your dog tag. So your name, rank, number, date of birth, religion. And was it name, rank, number, date of birth, religion, and something else? Big 6 or big 7, I can't remember what it is now. It's been so long. But yeah, so you'll just be like that, like Walker, private, whatever, you know, whatever your information is, that's all you're going to repeat to them. And then you'll finish that. And then there's some more training after that, a bit more continuation training. And then once that's done, that you'll get badged. They'll tell you you've passed. There's no big ceremony. It's literally we're in your auditorium, like the big classroom area, and they'll just go, yeah, so and so you've passed, so and so you've passed. No, you haven't. And then they'll come in with the berries, shake your hand, and that's it, done. Off you go to your squadron.
Okay.
And then you go to your squadron, and then you're like that. What's going on? Because it's just an eye opener. It is truly a eye opener. It's like everything you say everything you thought it would be probably would be the wrong thing, but in ways it's what you expect. And like the just the way you're treated compared to the way you're treated in the Green Army. You know, everyone's got everyone's got ideas for different things. It's just a different kettle of fish. I went off to what they call boat troop. So at the time we were still diving, so I went off and did my dive course. So I did air, and then you do a rebreather, LR5, so there's no bubbles that come out the set. It's all enclosed, which is interesting. So yeah, and that's a tasty little course. That's tons of fitness. That's when you get your abs. So so I'll tell you a little story. So I was coming back. I didn't have a car or anything then. I was skint. I had no money because, to be fair, even when we got badged, the money's not great. I mean, you'd be surprised on what we got paid. You know, it's ridiculous, really, for what we did and what the guys do and what they put themselves and put the families through as well. You know, because you got to think, guys. Most of the guys are married. You know, and the wives and the kids have got to put up with this. Obviously, it's our choice to go and do it. Don't get me wrong, but you'd think the government would go, do you know what? Let's give these guys some money so they don't have to worry when they're away. But it's pretty pants back then. It's a bit better now, I believe, but I personally think it should be a lot. The guys should get paid a lot more for what they do. So I was going back on leave, and I got one of the guys to give me a lift back because he was going back to Bath, and he dropped me off on the Bath M4 roundabout junction. So I jumped out there and was hitching a lift to get back home. And this I think it was a little. I don't think the top was down. It was a convertible Saab that pulled over, and it was a young lad and his sister. And I was all tanned because I'd just come back from diving abroad, where we'd been diving. So I was all super tanned and stuff. And this was January, February, would have been end of February, March time. So not many people in the UK had suntans. And